How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG. It ended up having a pullback in the market today, but no surprise, it has been on quite the run. We saw that it was way overbought on the RSI and there was going to be some profit taking, especially considering the market conditions that we're currently in. So I know you guys are already prepared for that. But since we're going to be going into Thursday tomorrow, I want to make sure I put this video out. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be taking a look at the short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $4.53, being down 12.72%. On the low, it tested $3.99, and then on the high, testing $5.35. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 171.077 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 87.82 million shares. So we could see we did have above average volume on the day, but of course we had some volatile times inside of the market, and of course BBIG has been running up, so it had to cool off a little bit. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below it is at 66.69. Keep in mind yesterday we are right in the high 70 range. And then now when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we have strength above the 21-day EMA as well as for the 50-day. We're also still above the 200-day, but we are below the 100-day. But one thing that was clear, and I talked about this in yesterday's video, is the gap fill to the downside. So we ended up filling in that gap today. So that is a really good look right there. And upon filling in that gap, we were still able to close at $4.53. So there's still a lot to look forward to here. You can see this area has been an area of support in the past back in November. So going into tomorrow, I want to see BBIG go back to the $5 level. Of course, this will be a psychological area. There could be some selling pressure here, but if we're able to get past it, this is where I want to look forward to seeing that gap fill, like I talked about right here around $5.87, and then essentially making that move going into $6. We saw this type of price action in the after hours from yesterday, but we need to see this during regular trading hours. Let's see if we can get it sometime this week. If we end up having a pullback, then of course I want to see the $4 level actually continue to hold. Like I said, I love when we have price action above the 200-day, because even when we tested the low at $3.99, we had buyers who were stepping in, and that's where we got that momentum going into the close. So let's see how it performs going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for BBIG. So for the dark pool short volume ratio, it's at 57.46%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 92.61 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 0, updated 4 minutes ago, and then for the short bar fee rate, it's saying that it is not available. Now when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of January the 14th, it was at 55.53, and then for the close of the 18th, which was yesterday, it was at 57.46. So what does this tell us? BBIG does have short squeeze potential. Many shorts are vested in this play, and it's part of the reasons if we have a lot of buying pressure coming into the stock, we see strong moves to the upside. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see on the inflows at 143, and then on the outflows at 152. Taking a look at the breakdown further, on the large it was 7.14, on the medium it was 97.23, and then on the small it was 38.60. Taking a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 10.61, on the medium it was 107, and then on the small it was 34.85. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for January the 19th, which is today, we had that negative outflow of 3,469.84. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders, which tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents institutions, whales, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. Makes sense due to the pullback that we had. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 180.61%. No surprises there due to the fact there's a lot of traders who are going in and out of this play. Shares are very liquid. It wasn't too long ago, even yesterday in videos before that, we saw that it was over 200. So knowing that it went down just a little bit just shows that there's still more volatility inside of this play and why you want to keep it on your radar. So let's go into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, like I said in the previous video, that we had a gap that needed to be filled on the downside, and we ended up filling in that gap today. So this is why you want to make sure that you pay attention to this stock going into Thursday and as well as Friday. We do have a gap that needs to be filled to the upside right around $5.78. That was another thing that we spoke about. But one thing that I want to see from BBIG is being able to hold up the $4 level. This is going to be crucial because I know if it's able to do this, then we can have more buyers coming into the stock, but also take into consideration the market conditions. You can't just ignore that. When you see that there's a lot of selling going on in the market overall, many people are going to be saying, well, you know what, I'm going to be locking in some profits, and I just want to make sure that you're going to be on the winning side of your trade or whether it was your investment. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So this is why if we had more buying pressure coming into the stock and a lot of volume, this is where we see these strong moves to the upside. I've said this many times before, and I'm going to be saying this again. If you're going to be inside of this play, just have a strategy. Just don't blindly jump in because of what you heard on social media. No support, no resistance. Check out the technicals when I go over it. And don't be hesitant if you are thinking about taking profits, because if you have that thought in the back of your mind, then you should just go with your gut. I'm going to be straight up. I'm not going to tell you guys and say, well, you know what? This stock is going to be going to $100 or this stock is going to be the next AMC and GME and so forth. No. Over here, we keep things realistic. I want to make sure you see success. And not every play out there is going to be like BBIG or like AMC and GME and jump up in price like that. If you decide to approach stocks in that type of manner, you will end up losing money in the long run. I just want to make sure that you are having great habits for 2022 so you can continue to trade and watch this channel so you can get a lowdown on the best small to mid cap stocks out there. Hope you enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.